Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jacob Kaufman, I'm on the street, and today we are setting my Ubuntu installation up to run GNOME. Alright, this is going to be a really quick video. Basically, my computer has Ubuntu 14.04 on it, and I have encountered absolutely zero problems with it. I'm absolutely loving it. It works great, super rock solid. Like I said, have not had any problems with it. The problem with that is that that's boring. I tend to get bored when I don't change anything on my computer, and I'm sure it's not healthy. I know if everything's working fine, I should just not touch it. If it isn't broken, don't fix it. But you know, I get bored, and I want to change things. So, I really want to try out GNOME 3 for some reason. I don't know why, but I've got Unity right now. And like I said, Unity is pretty darn good. I don't like the dashboard. The dash is absolutely useless to me. I never use the dash, but everything else is fine. Everything else is perfectly fine. You know, workspace switching. I love the workspace switching. Very simple. And absolutely, you know, the launcher on my apps that I use are in the launcher there. You probably can't see it right now, but you know, I've got my custom desktop background. I've got the Radiance theme running, and I've got my Conky running there. So you know, I've got it all customized just how I like it. But yeah, I really want to try GNOME 3. I don't know why. It's not healthy. It's probably I don't know what it is, but I really want to try GNOME 3. I know if you just install GNOME 3 alongside Unity, it will work. It's not the most optimized experience, though. And what do I mean by that? Well, like the title bars and everything, like the system title bars, are going to be the Unity title bars. It'll be running in GNOME 3, but the title bars will be Unity style. It's not going to be a true GNOME 3 environment. So I am going to switch this installation over. Now, I told myself I would not reinstall this operating system for at least the first semester of school, because it's probably not even good for my hard drives how much I reinstall my operating system. But I'm going to switch this over without reinstalling it. I'm going to show you how to switch your regular Ubuntu installation over to Ubuntu GNOME. And you can use the same method to switch over to Xubuntu, Lubuntu, Ubuntu Mate, any of those. So yeah, like I said, super short video, here we go. Alright, so I'm sorry I'm holding the camera for this video, but like I said, very short video. Shout out to the Linux Action Show by Jupiter Broadcasting, because I'm using their guide for doing this. And yeah, basically I want to try out Ubuntu GNOME without having to reinstall my whole computer. And yeah, if I don't like it, then I'll just switch back, because this process is completely reversible, they tell me. So we will open up a terminal, which is in my dashboard or launcher, whatever it's called. And we will type sudo, sudo apt update, first of all. And that will update our packages, because we want updated packages before we really do anything in terms of package management. All right, everything's updated. Next, we will do sudo apt upgrade. All right. So something's up here. Okay. Oh, no longer required. All right. Yeah. So these are the only packages that are actually being upgraded. Yeah, that confused me because I saw all those. Those are things I tried installing GNOME separately, and then I uninstalled it. Let me do apt get, what is it, auto remove? Sudo. Just because we might as well not have stuff that we don't need lying around, you know? So see, like GNOME shell extensions. I tried installing GNOME manually. This method works a whole lot better, because when you install GNOME on Ubuntu, it's still got like the Unity plugins enabled, because Unity is basically, apparently Unity is a plugin written on top of GNOME. So, you know, all of the title bars and things were still the Unity title bars, which I love the Unity title bars in Unity, but when I'm using GNOME, I want the GNOME title bars. So yeah. All right, that's done. Next, we will do sudo apt get install task cell, not taskl, but task cell. Already installed. All right. So sudo task okay, task cell. All right, there's a typo in the guide. They forgot the S, the first S, but I'm smart enough to catch it. So we will run task cell. Task selector is what that stands for. We'll go down. As you can see, you can use this to switch to any version of Ubuntu that you want. Edubuntu, Kubuntu, Lubuntu, Mythbuntu, Ubuntu Desktop, we will uncheck. Ubuntu GNOME Desktop is what we will check. We are not running this off of a USB drive. Don't know why that's enabled. See, like video creation and editing suite, like those, that would be something that I would want, but I'm not going to install it for some reason. But yeah, Xubuntu, another Edubuntu, more Kubuntu, Ubuntu GNOME, Ubuntu Studio. These are live CDs. So yeah, we're going to unbox the Ubuntu desktop USB because we really shouldn't need that. But yeah, we're going to switch from Ubuntu desktop to Ubuntu GNOME desktop. And as you can see, if we ever want to go back, all we have to do is run the same command and switch it back to Ubuntu desktop. But we're going to uncheck that, check Ubuntu GNOME desktop. Okay. And it is going to download everything required for Ubuntu GNOME. It's basically going to convert us from Ubuntu to Ubuntu GNOME, or as I think it should be called, Gubuntu. Okay, so it's actually it removed a bunch of compiz plugins. That's what it was. Unity is a compiz plugin. As you can see, I missed one of them, but we're going to have icons disappearing as it's uninstalling things. Yeah. Wait, removing Kdenlive. Why is it removing my personal programs? Yeah, it's removing Collision. Yeah, it's removing my KDE games. All right, so it's actually removing a lot of my programs. So I thought that this would only remove things related to Unity. Apparently not. Apparently it will remove a whole lot of stuff. This is why I do this stuff, because it would have sucked if one of you guys did this and you found out that it deleted everything. And it's not deleting any files, but it is deleting programs. And part of the benefit of doing this over reinstalling is that it wasn't supposed to delete my programs. All right, VirtualBox is gone. Why is it doing that? All right, has experienced an internal error, and as you can see, the window decorations are not quite right there. That is because Unity is basically being gutted. As you can see, icon just got removed. Yeah, I did not expect it to remove things that it didn't need to. Like that really, let's check real quick. Are there any other steps we'll have to do after this? We'll want the GNOME Display Manager when it asks us. And we should have normal Ubuntu GNOME. We don't really care about the newer, I don't need the up-to-date GNOME. I'd rather have the stable one because this is less stable. I'd rather have the more stable version already included. I guess the newer version's cool. It would be cool. But yeah, we're just going to stick with, at least to start out with, the stable version. Because this is my day-to-day computer, so, you know. So yeah, removing everything. You can see things disappearing. It's like, yeah, breaking down the installation of the operating system we have. Removing Unity scopes, which we didn't really use anyway. Yeah, I had absolutely zero problems with Unity. I just hadn't used GNOME in a very long time, and I wanted to try it out. Because I had been switching between, I guess I had been using KDE for a really long time. And then I used like Cinnamon, which is pretty similar to KDE in terms of functionality. They both have like taskbars and start menus. So yeah, Unity was very nice to play with. Definitely Unity has gotten better since the last time I used it. I was perfectly happy with it. I did not use, like I said, icons are getting switched over to the GNOME icons now. Not sure if you can see that. You probably can't, but that is no longer the old icon. It's the new one. All right. Okay. So that's done. And as you can see, this icon is the GNOME icon now. Classic GNOME icon, granted. So this menu is loaded in the system memory, but if we click shut down, there will be an error. So what you're supposed to do at this point is type sudo reboot, and then it will reboot, but I want to see the error. Shut down. And there goes Unity. All right. Awesome. So as you can see, when I clicked shut down, it realized, wait a second, everything that I've been working for just disappeared. It's like if the employee of a company went back in the back of the store to get like a product, and the room was just empty. And then the employee freaked out and left. As you can see, we asked the menu to get us the shutdown prompt. The menu realized, wait a second, Unity isn't here anymore. And then it said, I'm out. So we will click. I'm not even sure what's going to work and what's not going to work. Let's try Control-Alt-Function F3. All right, so we can do that. So we will just log in here. Jacob. All right. Sudo reboot. Just put in my password. All right. So now the system will reboot. Hopefully it will work. It should. No reason why it wouldn't work. So enter our BIOS password and the moment of truth. Time to see if we're going to boot. And all right, Ubuntu GNOME starting up. We don't get the pretty startup thing because we're using weird drivers and stuff. That was a very technical sentence. Our boot screen, okay. Awesome. Awesome. So I've actually got a problem with this monitor. As you can tell, the resolution is incorrect, and Linux by default will not detect. Actually, even if you try messing with it, Linux just won't do this monitor unless I use a custom xorg.config file. So let me copy the xorg.config file back into its place now. I guess it uninstalled xorg and reinstalled it for some reason. So as you can see, this is our full terminal with large text and everything. Luckily, text mode works on the monitor without doing anything. So as you can see, I searched locate xorg.config, and it found the one in my downloads folder. That's my custom one that I use. etc/x11/xorg.config or .conf. It's already there supposedly, but it might be messed up or something. So copy it over, and it should be copied. So let's try reboot. All right, whatever. Reboot. There we go. So if it doesn't work this time, then that means I just copied that file into the wrong directory, and it might have changed the directory that it's supposed to be in. And yeah, that didn't work. All right, let's try putting it into that other folder, the user share x11 folder. It's not the conventional place for that, but we'll try it. We'll give it a shot. Reboot the computer again. Yeah, I wrote one xorg.config file, and I've used it, I think, on Ubuntu was the third distribution that I've used it. So it supposedly transfers across distributions because, you know, xorg stays the same across distributions, which is nice. Very nice. I wrote it for Linux Mint, then I used it for OpenSUSE, then I used it for Ubuntu. No idea why Ubuntu GNOME's having issues with it. All right, I'll just let you know. I'll stop giving you progress reports. I'll let you know when I get it working. Well, that was just dumb. I just went into a terminal and typed start X, and it worked immediately. Oh, this is much smoother. All right, see, when I installed GNOME without doing the fancy stuff I just did, yeah, everything was laggy and slow. But since I installed Ubuntu GNOME, it's got like all the optimizations and stuff. Conky's acting up. I need to move that up now. See, I had everything set perfectly for Unity. I had my Conky set up to match Unity and everything. I'm just gonna have to change some stuff and install plugins and everything. But that's part of why I wanted to install GNOME, is to experience that. But yeah, so the problem is the display manager. So maybe if we type in system settings, if we have a setting for the display manager, we don't have a setting for the display manager. Okay. And something's wrong with our theme as well, which is always good to see. Something wrong with our theme. Did I do something wrong? I'm almost positive I didn't do anything wrong. See this theme? It's like all boxy. It's like Windows 95 or Windows 2000. Maybe it's, what's that tweak tool? Appearance. GTK plus. Ah, there we go. We had to change GTK plus to the Adwaita theme because it did not have a theme selected. So it actually had no theme selected. That was why everything was weird, because it didn't have a theme selected. So change our icon set to, I don't know what the defaults are. What are the default icons? GNOME default. You can tell because it says default. All right, and the Adwaita. So now we have the black. As you can see, we had the Ubuntu mouse. Now we have the GNOME mouse. We want all defaults. Shell theme, not enabled. All right. So it's nice. I guess the tweak tool is installed by default because of Ubuntu GNOME. Obviously, it's not installed by default for regular Ubuntu. Otherwise, they would just make it part of the settings, probably. So this is nice. This is nice. Very nice. I want to get the display manager working, though. So let's open up a terminal, a GNOME terminal now. Yeah, you can see different terminal. And let's try nano/etc. I can't type with one hand. /x11/default display manager. Light DM, that's the problem. We don't have that anymore. Just do GNOME display manager. I think that's installed, right? Permission denied. All right. GDM is installed. Yeah. So let's try, well, what we're going to do. All right. Open up the terminal again. Let's see if just changing it to GDM works. So we'll do the same command we did before, except we'll add sudo to the end of it, or to the beginning of it, /GDM. And I did notice that it did not ask me what I wanted the default display manager to be. I noticed that. We will reboot the computer. All right, fine. We'll do it with the we'll do it ourselves. Power, restart, authentication required. Great. I'll give that to Unity. Unity doesn't make you type in your password to restart the computer. But yeah, very excited just to try out GNOME. I like trying new things. I get really bored with the same things. I'm sure plenty of people do. You guys can identify with that, right? You guys ever get bored of your computer? Change things up a bit? Changing desktop environments is a great way to do it. Because yeah, it did not even have to reinstall my operating system. All right, so now we have the beautiful GNOME display manager. Beautiful. Yeah, Unity is rock solid. GNOME looks great though. Like GNOME is just pretty. Unity completely stable. GNOME is much more visually awesome. And they're newer. All right, maybe we have to load up. Yeah, there we go. Now it's fading smoothly. And you can see like the animations and everything. They've got new animations coming in 3.14 or 3.16, one of those. A ton of new animations, so can't wait for that. But yeah, you might notice now in my videos I've got GNOME installed just because I was bored. That would be why. Is seriously just because I was bored. So yeah, that's about all for now. I have to get back to making the other videos that I was in the middle of when I finally decided to do this. I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. And I find when I think about something for a long time, it means I want to do it. So I thought I'll just do it. So yeah, I'll link to that Jupiter Broadcasting article in the description below. And that way you can follow the instructions. Yeah, and check that out. For now, I'm Jacob Kaufman. I'm in the street, and I will see you guys later. See ya.